I would say the vast majority of the population have the same symptoms and need for coping mechanisms, but their hunger isn't so big, so they never hit a wall that hard. And so their entire life is coping mechanisms, whether it's food, whether it's a little bit of alcohol, whether it's a little bit of weed, whether it's toxic relationships, shitty job, just consistent throughout, but never has too many peaks or valleys. And so, so there's no real stimulus for a massive change like you.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, my change was rock bottom. I had run out of, my mother, rest her soul, said, you'd run out of exits. There's nothing left.
But there's beauty in that, right? That was your saving grace.
As soon as I had less choices other than one way out of here, like you're at the bottom. You're not getting, the next stop is death. And when you leave that place, and it's with little fanfare, like I like to say, there was a small spark of hope. My family had written me off. I had, other than my mom, who said, like, listen, you piss me off. You disappoint me this time. And I don't know where you're going to end up because your family has officially shut you down. My family had finally got help, brought in interventionists to tell them, there's no narrative from this kid's mouth. The sickest person in the equation no longer dictates any of what's going on. That's the first thing. Like families realize, Junior's got a problem or my boy's got a problem. Well, you all have a problem if the addiction will permeate into everyone else's life. But for me, like you say, the hunger, it was, I knew I would sit there going, I grew up with pretty well every advantage in the world. And while you're in this recovery zone, you meet people that have some seriously bad luck and bad shit happen to them. And you're watching them thrive and take way, way lesser resources than you had and thrive with them. And you start looking, I started thinking, hey, this guy can do this. What am I waiting for? Why is the offering I'm giving the world, this is the best I can do, And I was like thinking, man, that is some serious mediocrity I'm offering myself. And another part is, I don't think I've failed more than I have in my recovery. I've maintained my abstinence and my sobriety since January 2nd, 2004. I haven't had a drink or a drug since, but I have failed in building myself to the person I am today many times. But instead of letting a failure define me, I'm like, have I learned from this? Okay, so let's look at the whole mindset changed. And I started looking at a scalable way to come out of where I was at to this darkness, if you will, and slowly started chipping away at it. I did not know I'd become an interventionist when I got sober. I did not know I'd be, a recovery coach, let alone a good one. And it was interesting. And, I got married in my recovery. I got divorced in my recovery. My ex-wife was instrumental in telling me, like, what are you trying to do anything other than this? She saw it in me before I did. And people ask me, my relationship's really good with her. And I'm like, you don't understand. I don't think I would have motivated myself to this point. She kind of built it and said, here, you kicked me out of the nest and said, like, we're not going any further than this, but you can do this. And I poured myself into what I call a craft and what I call, the betterment of learning how to do my job. And I've become, I've become very good at it. I've become extremely good at it. People call me like, oh, 2 other interventionists have failed. And, the therapists, because my business is built on end users. It's built on therapists and doctors and lawyers. And they'll say, oh, you failed. A couple of people failed. Call Bob Marion. Bob Marion's going to come in. Yeah, I have the innate belief that every case is winnable and every case is the person's going to go into treatment. But again, you ask me where the hunger comes from, and I could say, I didn't believe in myself enough to start this. And as I started to, you start any new business or new venture, you're going to fail. And you're going to either learn from the failures or you're going to say, oh, fuck it. I can't do this anymore. I can't, or you become, I've used this word with you before, audacious. Like, it's like, maybe people that are looking from the outside looking in go, oh, what a maroon. How's this guy from Montreal going to become anything with himself or do this? And that's human nature. Like, it's almost like, well, he made an attempt, it failed, he went home, but he took his ball and he went home, or you keep working. And that's what I did. I just kept working at it.